Hello, you have found yourself on day 7, where we will deep dive into a nourishing yin yoga session. Now, if you've never practiced yin before, then welcome. We hold positions a little longer, okay? So it gives us that time to really ooze and melt into all of the poses. So my suggestion would be to grab some pillows and props, set yourself up in a cozy little fortress for this practice, and then find yourself in a seated position. Now become aware of your breath. Where there is awareness, there is awakening. And where there is awakening, there is an establishment to ourselves. Using your breath as a gateway to the sacredness within you and to the sacredness of this community as you feel, as you sense, as you perceive all of the people that are breathing with you right now. As you take a deep breath in and then a full breath out, becoming more aware of your relaxed body in this space. Now feel into the energy of the space just outside of your skin. So notice that there is this simple and cohesive exchange between you and the space that is around you. Now, while refining your awareness, begin to feel out into the contour of the room that you currently occupy. Expanding your awareness to include the community surrounding you. And then feel the whole town or city that you're in. And then expand out even more to feel the entire province. And then expand out even bigger to feel and visualize the whole country. Continue to expand until you are aware of the entire continent that you're sitting upon. Now become aware of the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Become aware of the western world and the eastern lands, until you are aware of the whole planet Earth that you are resting upon. And then drop into the reality of that. Whilst it may feel like you're still, the planet is actually spinning around at 1,000 miles an hour. And at the same time, we're flying around the sun at around 66,000 miles an hour. And while we're orbiting the sun, the whole entire solar system, with our sun at the center of 8 planets, are all spiraling together around the galaxy. So within this moment of stillness, we're actually moving at a speed which is incomprehensible. And when you look at it like that, you realize we are such a small piece of this puzzle, this realm of existence. This 3D world that we live in is part of something so ginormous that we can't even quite conceptualize it. Everything in the universe is always moving and always changing. All of life is in this perpetual state of evolution and growth and expansion. So know that whatever you're going through right now, whether it feels good or if it doesn't feel good or if it feels neutral, know that it will also change. In fact, an imprint can be made that the only thing that is constant is change. So let that promise of change and transformation allow you to feel more comfortable in the here and the now. Allow a longer breath in, and then a deeper breath out. That's how fast it can change. Do it again. Breathe in. Breathe out. That's how easy it can be to let go. The breath forever coming and going and connecting us to most things that are so profound we don't even have quite the time to stop and listen and absorb. Now stay with the breath, give it a little bit more depth and rhythm. One final cycle, breathe in, breathe out. Now bring your awareness back into the room that you're in, back into your space, whatever its form. Establish yourself there. Begin to open your eyes and welcome yourself back. All right, now from this much more grounded place, we'll begin to transition into our first yin position. So I want you to extend your legs nice and wide. And you're going to take your props, your pillows, your bolsters, whatever you've got, and you're going to place it in between the legs. And you want to place this to a dimension that feels good for your body. So I know I have quite flexible hips, so I'm going to bring mine to a low degree. If you have tighter architecture of your hips, then I'd suggest placing your bolster or your pillow on a higher dimension. And then you're just going to begin to fold into your pillow. And this is going to take a few moments for you to find a sustainable and comfortable shape. So get comfy, settle in, and we're going to be here for about 5 minutes, and I'll keep an eye on the time as you begin to drop into a still space. So I want you to just become aware of yourself being aware right now. Noticing your mind. Notice the mind. Acknowledge any thoughts. Now, my favorite spiritual teacher, Eckhart Tolle, he says that there are 2 different kinds of thought. There's thought with awareness, which is that consciousness, that separation that hears. And then there's thought without awareness. And that's when we're merged with our thoughts, identified with our thoughts, asleep to the thoughts. In fact, the thoughts can have power over us. So let's just say, before you switched on this practice, you might have had those thoughts like, oh, I'm really tired. I'm feeling stiff. I'm not very good at yoga. Well, if you don't have awareness to those thoughts, then you and that unkind thing that you said become one. And then that is going to generate an action. And that action generates a pattern. And the pattern generates a version of yourself that you ultimately become. So what we're doing during these practices is becoming more aware of the thoughts so we can uncover who it is that we are underneath all of the noise, all of that chatter, that internal dialogue. So we can decide the version of ourselves that we actually want to become. So last few minutes here, allowing yourself to sink deeper and deeper into your internal space. Take a breath in. And then a deep breath out. All right, everyone, let's begin to come on out. So just walk the hands in, lift up your chest, take your time here. So we don't want to re-trigger anything. And you was there for some time, so the hips might feel a little bit numb, in which case I'd encourage everyone to just place the soles of the feet to the ground and just knock the knees from side to side. You might hear a little pop or crackle. That's perfect. That's what you want. So we can really begin to feel the effects of the pose. So the body can drink the antidote that we cook during the yin. All right, let's begin to transition into the second position. So you're going to extend your legs back out. Try to bring them as wide as possible without any force. And then you'll reposition your pillow over to the right. Again, find that degree, which is going to allow the body to feel supported. Take a breath in as you lift up through your chest. And as you breathe out, you'll begin to reposition the chest towards the right leg and then fold over the right leg. Drop the chest down to your prop. Close your eyes. And again, we'll be here for just under 5 minutes. So I'm going to let you know when it's time to come out. Now, instead of the primary goal being about how deep you can externally go, let's make this more about experiencing and exploring every degree of sensation. And so you may have the capacity to bring the forehead all the way to the ground towards your leg. But notice what degree that you start to actually feel something interesting. And just hang out in that place, breathe into it, and then proceed. There are all sorts of different degrees opening within us. And sometimes we may have become accustomed to just go into the same place every time in our positions. And in doing so, we sometimes can miss out on all these layers that have the ability to impart something delicious. So really take your time here. Try to speak to every single thing that you feel with your breath. And in speaking to everything that you're feeling with the breath, we can shift our tendency of being so goal-orientated to more of a embodied experience. So really just indulging in yourself right now without any effort. Now let's continue to notice the mind, okay, to observe the thoughts. And this time we can approach thoughts from more of a science perspective. Now, in subatomic physics, scientists call parts of an atom 0.1% matter. 0.9% is thought. So really, if you can change your thoughts, then you can change your brain chemistry. And if you can change your brain chemistry, then you can change who you're becoming. So that old adage of you are what you think isn't just a sentence to toss around, it's scientific. It's in your body, it's in the fabric of your body, it's in the fabric of your body. Now take one last breath into your body, breathe in, breathe out. Amazing, everyone. Start to lift up your chest. Take your time. It's like you're waking up from a nap right now. You're going to move so lazy and sleepy. Some of you might even fall into sleep. So just lift up your spine, reset it, and then again, we'll have you bring the feet as wide as the mat and just knock the knees from side to side. You might even be able to feel those mobilizations through the right side. Okay, extend the legs back out. What goes around comes around. Bring the pillow or bolster, whatever you've got, over to the left, to the inside of the leg. And then same, just on the left side. We'll ground down to lift ourselves up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, begin to fold the chest over the left leg. Take your time. Walk the hands forward and down. and then settle in. Now, a lot of this is just having the patience to not want to rush the moves or rush the mind. So you're thinking about lengthening and extending and nourishing and replenishing. Now, everybody is made up of somewhere in the ballpark of 50 trillion cells. Just under half of these cells are actually not part of your body, but work within your body. And when you let this wave of awareness expand into the community outside of you, and then even expand into the community within you, you start to feel this great connection between the one and the many, recognizing that nothing is happening independent of another. And whilst there are great thought leaders in the community external to us, you are the great thought leader for the community internal to you. It's you that gives the directive. It's you that either listens or doesn't. It's you that is sending messages internally, giving instructions to at least 30 trillion cells. And now the greatest leaders are also exceptional listeners. And so as you give thanks to your inner community, you'll also begin to set yourself up with awareness so that you build a circuitry of listening internally. So I'm going to get real quiet so you can just listen for the next few minutes here. Now, wherever your mind has gone, notice it. And then gently and lovingly bring it back. Bring the mind back into the body. As you breathe into your body. And then breathe out. And then let's have you lift your body all the way back up. Slowly does it, in no rush. Hands come behind you. Bend the knees. Drop them from side to side. Just really simple, functional movement, but we don't want to breed any stagnation. We want to encourage mobility and fluidity and flexibility, not only in the body, but in the mind. Okay, let's have you bring your legs all the way out in front of you now. And again, you're just going to place your bolster to a place that feels nice. If you wanted to take it a little higher, be my guest. You know your body better than I do, so listen. Make this entire practice just one big listening exercise, okay? So begin to fold your chest forward into your pillow. So we've worked on opening the inner seams of the legs, the outer hips, the IT band, the hip flexors. And now we'll start to work through into the hamstrings and even into the spine. And again, we'll be here for approximately 5 minutes. So close your eyes and settle. Bring in your awareness to your heart space. So find a tiny space in your heart. Let this space be the epicenter of your awareness. As you allow yourself to blossom into a receptive, spacious awareness, where you're listening to your whole entire inner community. Now allow yourself to rest deeply in this receptive, spacious awareness. Listening, feeling, noticing. And also coming back to your sankalpa, that intention that you brought into this series 7 days ago. Bring your entire inner community on board for it. And remember, it could be anything: healing, belief systems, an area of productivity, of focus, of clarity, of receptivity. So come back to it. And then can you use your breath to drop it into that deeper spaciousness in which a deeper intention can come forward? Because if we do have a true understanding of our intentions, it helps motivate us and inspire us to make it to the end. So get all of your 50 trillion cells on board. Feel it as you run it through your heart space, through your entire body, your heart's desires. And as you run your heart's desires through your whole inner circuitry, feel it come to life right now. Beginning to breathe through your heart space. Give it appreciation and thanks to this whole inner community. Thank every single cell of this inner community for bringing your heart's desires to life, as if it's already so, right now. Breathe into the heart. Breathe out like velvet. And then slowly begin to lift the torso all the way up. Okay, be really mindful of the back. So engage your front body so you can really start to feel that scaffolding of the spine. Even give the shoulders a roll forwards and backwards a few times. And then switch the direction. Take a little twist. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to unravel yourself all the way down to the ground. And since we are using pillows and props today, you can place a pillow under the back of the knees to make this really restorative. You can even place a pillow behind the head. Maybe even grabbing a blanket and wrapping yourself up in a hug. So set yourself up in a cozy little cocoon as you give yourself the next few minutes to fully relax. Begin to track the breath internally. So feel the breath enter the nostrils. Allow the breath to move behind the back of the throat towards your sternum. And then as you exhale, let the breath massage the heart space. Inhale into your heart space. Breath moves up, base of the throat, and then out from the nose. Breathe in through the nostrils. Draw the breath down, throat, sternum. As you exhale, the breath caresses the heart. Breathe in heart space, sternum, throat, out the nose, throat, sternum, heart, sternum, throat, nose. Just take 5 more cycles like that in your own time. And if at any point the mind begins to wander, which it will, the ask is that you bring it back to simply just breathing in the body. With every breath, allowing the body to slip deeper and deeper into a restful state. Now with your next few breaths, begin to stroke the pad of the thumb against the pads of the fingers. Bring yourself back home. Whole and healed. Feel your inner community and your outer community coming together in harmony to wake the body back up. So bring in some really gentle, nourishing movements. And then slowly just we'll take the knees in. Hook them in nice and close towards your heart space. And then soften the knees over to the right side. Pause in a fetal position. From your fetus position, lift yourself up to a comfortable seat, just like how we started. Now, if you think you are able to maintain this connection together to this diverse population of your inner community, running this consistent message within you, then sit up a little taller. And then from this place of connection, bring your palms to meet and set a new intention of how you would like to feel. What kind of energy you would like to bring into your conversations and your relations, both internally and externally. Begin to feel it Become alive right now. And now with that, bow your chin in, your chest forward. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Thank you so much, my friends, for joining me. Such a pleasure. I hope you feel fully restored and replenished. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for more.